ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the CD Racoola Show. Today is a big, big day on the show. No, the word big doesn't do this episode any justice. Huge, colossal maybe, epic most definitely. Today's show, we are climbing to the peak of Mount Fear and jumping off, screaming all the way to the bottom. Because today we're reviewing the 1973 film, The Exorcist! Even mentioning the name of this movie sends chills down my undead spine. This movie, in my opinion, is the scariest movie of all time. Notice I said the words "in my opinion." You are entitled to your own opinion, of course, if you think Sharknado is the scariest movie or whatever. You know what? Leave a comment down below on what you YouTube landers think is in fact the scariest film you have ever seen. For OCD and lots of you out there, this 1973 The Exorcist film was it. The crazy thing about this film is that it was made in 1973 and still is as scary to this day as it was then. The film was directed by William Friedkin, who was in lots of other projects, but I think that this film was his #1, as he was nominated for an Academy Award for his work on The Exorcist. One of the things that made this film one of the greatest horror films of all time was it had an absolutely incredible cast. You all have to agree with old CD on that at least. The film starred Linda Blair, of course, as the possessed young girl Regan McNeil. Linda also appeared in The Exorcist 2, The Heretic, and in the movie Hell Night. If you guys wish me to review other Exorcist films, just give me the green light down in the comments and I will make it happen. Your wish is my command, baby. Ellen Burstyn played Regan's mother in this film. She was in lots and lots of other stuff and has many accolades next to her name, but I really enjoyed her work in the film Requiem for a Dream and in the television show House of Cards. Max von Sydow, also in this film, playing the elder priest, who most clearly had some experience with exorcisms before. Max was a real highlight of this cast for me. Although he played the good priest in this film, he was oftentimes in his career the consummate villain. P.S. I liked him better as a villain. You know I love a good villain, don't you? He was in lots of really awesome stuff, but the highlights for me were his parts in Never Say Never Again. That's a James Bond film, by the way. No big deal. Flash Gordon. Look at him there. Oh, that's amazing. He played the three-eyed raven in the Game of Thrones. Also in Star Wars, The Force Awakens, Judge Dredd, and The Minority Report. Wow, what an epic career he had. And those are just the highlights for me. I mean, we could be here all day long with the things that Max von Sydow has done. But the show must go on, you know. The last cast member I want to touch on here is the young priest whom had lost his faith, Jason Miller. Jason had not acted in a film prior to The Exorcist. Can you believe that? What a film to make his splash, huh? He was, however, a rather accomplished playwright. He went on to star in The Exorcist 3, by the way, if you've seen that film. Now, we have gotten through the cast. Let's look at why this movie is so darn scary. First, the demon, or the devil, or Pazuzu, whatever that is, taking over Reagan. He does so very slowly, and we can slowly see that evidence of the demon starting to make his appearance in Reagan. Reagan starts talking about an invisible friend, Captain Howdy, whom talks to her. What a great name for a demon, Captain Howdy. I would take a venture to guess that the white face that flashes over the screen is, in fact, this Captain Howdy character. I didn't really find the white face that scary, to be honest. More along the lines of cheesy, but that's okay. I mean, let's take another look at the teeth here on this white face guy. Not really all that scary, but certainly in need of some crest whitening strips or something, I don't know. Anyway, back to it here. Things just slowly get worse and worse for the girl Reagan, and it's clear that no medical science of the world can help her. The look of the demon in this film is pure nightmare fuel. I mean, take a gander at some of these shots. Oh my goodness gracious, if that doesn't tickle your scary bone, I don't know what will. I mean, when she is spinning her head backwards, it's like, come on, it's just too much. It was pretty mind-blowing, even for today's standards, you know. To go along with the look of the possessed girl, the voice of the demon projected through the girl, and her use of rather vulgar language, in my humble opinion, make her all the more scary. I mean, that is just something else. I think one of the scariest scenes of the film for me was actually cut from the original theatrical release. But when Reagan came down the stairs in the back bend, oh my goodness. I think they call it the spider walk scene in the film. They brought the scene back from the dead in the year 2000's director's cut release of The Exorcist. Now, I'm curious as Mr. Howdy right now as to what your personal favorite scene of The Exorcist was. Maybe the projectile pea soup incident? Okay, now I'm a vampire and prefer to drink my food dry, as you well know at this point. But if I had the same palate as a human being, I don't know that I would be all that into pea soup. It sounds kind of disgusting to me. I don't know what was really going through their mind at the time. It's like, okay, this person is being possessed by a demon. Hurry and give them some pea soup. Hurry up with the pea soup. It just doesn't make any sense. It's just kind of a weird thought process. Here's a look at some pea soup. Oh boy, it probably has some of you humans out there's mouth watering right now, doesn't it? All in all, as I said before, this movie is epic and my #1 scariest movie of all time. In fact, if you follow the show, and you should most definitely subscribe to the show right this instant and not a moment sooner, you would know that my scarometer has The Exorcist at the tippy top. To me, The Exorcist is just the benchmark of how scary and timeless a horror film can be. A film that all horror movies that came before and all horror movies that come after have to live up to, you know. Also, if you look at the bottom of the scrometer, you will see that film that shall not be named. That is the benchmark for the worst film of all time. Thinking of that film that shall not be named makes me throw up a little blood and pea soup mixture, you know. If you haven't seen The Exorcist yet, then what the heck are you waiting for? Grab yourself an economy-sized bag of Cheetos, plop down on your favorite worn-out beanbag, and watch the darn thing. The sequels to The Exorcist are also pretty decent in my opinion, but they fail to live up to the original, as lots of films do. I would like to thank you for joining me here on the CD Racoola Show. And if you could have a demon possess your finger to subscribe to the CD Racoola Show, I would thank you very much. Or I would thank your Captain Howdy-like demon that possessed your body to press the subscribe button. Please join me next episode of the show as I review Wormwood Apocalypse. What a unique franchise Wormwood is. Should be lots of fun down under. So till next time, my little blood bags, a little word to the wise. For every beautiful sunny day, every cutesy patootsy little new kitten, every bouquet of fresh flowers, there's something equally dark, something perhaps ancient, and something perhaps evil waiting for you. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.